What's up, everybody? Welcome to Two Kevs and a Mic. I'm Kevin. That's Kevin. And that's the mic. Ain't that right?
That's right.
You're not pissed.
No, I'm actually really pissed. I think someone's actually... Is someone coming in here?
Somebody's
it's a weird
breaking
night.
in.
First of all, let me just start off telling our viewers out there that I'm really upset because we don't have our normal room.
As you can see, this is not a white background.
It's not the Irish flag room. It's not the room based around Ireland, and it's really upsetting.
And I got here a half hour late, and it might be my fault. I'm not sure. But the thing is, it's not the creepy tutor. It's not the
it's
not
the
the school
creepy
shooter.
tutor. It's three girls.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20. It could be anyone.
Kev asked them, "Are you guys leaving?"
Yeah. All right. So, in the past, you guys know there's a creepy tutor, and we're afraid to ask him how long he's going to be there. But these were girls, and I turned to Kev, I'm like, I'll go ask them how long they're going to be there. You know, like, I can be charming, and then I can be nice, and they'll answer respectably.
Mm-hmm.
So I knock, and they're like, take out their headphones, and they wait a minute, and then the one girl opens the door, she's like, hi. I'm like, hi, guys, I don't mean to be rude, I don't want to bother you. I'm just curious, how long are you guys going to be here? And they, look at each other. Probably the whole time. And I come back and I tell Kevin.
Well, what is the whole time? What is that?
They're playing us.
Yeah. So they're going to be here all night. So they've been here since 5 o'clock and they're going to be here all night studying.
They may be gone.
I'm a vibes guy. I really, everything I do is based on vibes, and I feel like I've lost the whole connection. Like, all my vibes are just killed right now.
Because that room is dope.
This weird room, yeah. I mean, this is a cool room, too, but
it's also huge. You guys can't tell. This room is huge, and it's, creepy, and there's, all Long Island documents.
Yes, there's
and stuff,
there's
off to the side over
pictures
there.
of old people from the 1800s on Long Island, and
there's a lot of history in here.
It's
I'm
really
gonna
weird.
pull some of these telephones off the wall in a bit and show you guys.
Yes, we will show them the artifacts.
All right, so it's been an eventful week.
Yes,
it's been a lot going on in the world.
Sad week, it's been a really tough week for me. It's
depending on
a lot of people pissing me off, but
you're not gonna call them out though.
No, not individually, but just
vibes this week for you.
I can't.
It's been a rough start for the gym this week.
Yeah, I've just chose sleep instead.
So tell me about your Super Bowl Sunday.
Super Bowl Sunday was good. Went to my friends to watch the game. They said they were all a little quiet during the game because they were afraid because I complained on the podcast last week. So they were all afraid to actually speak up and talk. So why is everyone so damn quiet during the game? Steph's like, yeah, well, you talked on the podcast about how much you hate when people talk during the game, and then during the commercials they want you to be quiet. So she's like, subconsciously, everyone, so they listened. But it was fun. It was a good time. Kevin's really upset about some things. It was a great game, exciting game.
It didn't start out that way.
The thing with me about the Super Bowl is it's tough because as a big football fan, I love the game. So obviously, not only do I love watching the Giants, but I love watching any game. I'm the type of guy that will watch Thursday Night Football, Monday Night Football, Sunday night. I'll watch a game after the Giants are over, etc. So when the Super Bowl's on, I'm interested. I'm usually rooting for a certain team. I want a team to win because of a specific reason. I love the art of the game. And instead, I just feel like most people kind of watch it as an entertaining thing. And people who don't care about football all season get into it. And then there comes the betting thing.
Right, and you don't like that.
Yeah, I was thinking about writing a blog on this because not only with the Super Bowl, so it's not just for people, it's actually for real football fans who play fantasy throughout the year. I feel like everything nowadays has to revolve around money. And I get it. Money, quote unquote, makes the world go round. Nevertheless, I feel like everything we do now is just revolved around money. And football used to be something where you could take your mind off of money and women and men or any type of problems in your life. You could take your mind off of anything going on at work, sit down on Sundays, have a cold beer, order pizza with your guy friends and your girls, and watch football.
I guess it's different
and watch it for entertainment purposes.
I guess it's different for everybody off the bat.
But it's not even it used to just be okay, some people were really into fantasy.
Yeah.
And even I played fantasy as a junior high and a high school student, but I played it for fun. Now everyone's they're playing fantasy and they're winning thousands of dollars. And it becomes a problem for me when people are rooting against my team, not because they don't want them to win, because they have money invested in it.
You think it's taking away from the love of the game?
I think it's taking away from the
I
integrity
don't
of the
do
game.
fantasy, and this season, I'm finally back to watching, because I told you, sports teams don't love me, so I don't love them.
Yeah.
A certain point when I was younger, I realized I'm not going to get so worked up about this, and I took a step back for a while. and I also played sports, so I was busy with that.
Right.
But the Cowboys are my team, so this
But
season
you
was
know
super
what?
exciting.
I don't like soccer, and I don't enjoy watching it. But you know what I do love about soccer? The fans are real fans. Like people,
Yes.
there's no. I mean, I'm sure there are, but there's not too many people out there playing fantasy soccer.
No.
At least that I know.
No.
So when people are rooting for Arsenal or Real Madrid or whoever, Chelsea, they're really invested in the team. They want them to win or lose because they care about the team.
Dude,
you know,
they especially
it's not like,
over
oh,
in-
I have money on this. Though. Like I really need Arsenal to win, or
Yeah.
I really need.
And I'm sure
so-and-so
the
to
betting
score.
happens. That's definitely a thing. But I think the most dedicated fans in the world are
betting in
footballers,
sports
soccer.
has always been a thing, but it's been like there were the people that bet, and then there were the people that like were real fans.
I
And
think
now
fantasy
it's kind of,
takes away from it.
yeah,
too.
fantasy now it's
I
all
guess that
about like
makes sense.
rooting for other players. So on
Right.
Sundays, instead of just watching the Giants, I have people rooting for like guys on the Cleveland Browns and the Tennessee Titans, and they're like cheering them on because they want to win money. So
Yeah.
I don't know. That's my whole take. And then the Super Bowl, everyone's got their boxes and everything like that, and no one even knows what's going on.
Yeah.
So that's my whole take on the Super Bowl.
And everybody does it differently. But dude, that game, did you enjoy it?
I did enjoy it though. It was really boring the first half.
Well, that's the thing. We had people leave our Super Bowl party.
Yeah, a lot of Super Bowls are
Like,
boring, but then the end was
Dude.
incredible, and I can't believe they came back.
You can't say that's not a historic night.
It was definitely,
And I think it's always, regardless of what team you like, this is the thing that, like you said, people love sports and it brings people together. We love stories like Super Bowl Sunday.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Because you can relate it to any aspect of life. And it's just so sick when you have somebody come back and do what happened, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is, there's a lot of haters.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm pissed about. You're writing down the
Tell
words
us.
Tom Brady.
Tell us about Tom Brady.
I'm pissed because here's the thing.
Listen, Chew.
Tom Brady, what he did Sunday, you can't do. Plain and simple. So, regardless of external affairs, everything, I can't stand when people hate just to hate. And not just Tom Brady. People hate winners. And this has been my theme all week, Kevin. I'm freaking out about it. People hate winners, and I can't understand why. So, Tom Brady, 6th round draft pick to the NFL, correct?
Yes.
His combine was disgusting.
Right.
He looked
Awful.
He looked like a joke, physically.
Mm-hmm.
On the field,
Mm-hmm.
joke. Nobody took him seriously.
Mm-hmm.
He was going to amount to nothing.
Right.
And the ironic part about that is he literally made it to the NFL, which is something that majority of the world will never do. So
Right.
that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But in the eyes of the NFL, he made it, and he was going to be a subpar nobody.
Right.
And that's the beauty in it. And that's why it's always so sick. Because he's the only quarterback to do what? 5 rings?
To win 5 rings.
4 MVPs.
4 MVPs.
He's a monster.
As a 6th
Dude,
round pick. And that's what really
round
yeah.
pick. That's the inspiring part. Like, and it goes for anything. It doesn't matter what people are saying. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where you are at in life right now.
Yeah.
If someone says, you're not where you should be, you're a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Screw you.
Yeah. You know what? It's funny, too, because I've been seeing a lot of this lately. Someone just wrote in, a lot of Jets fans giving Tom Brady praise. I've never seen so many
it's
Jets.
respect.
I always just hear about how much Jets fans hate Tom Brady. And I don't blame them, honestly. If I were
from
a Jets
from
fan,
a sports standpoint, yes.
if I were a Jets fan, I would hate Tom Brady. And they have every right to.
Right.
But I'm saying lately, all I've seen is complete and utter respect for Tom Brady from Jets fans.
Yeah. For what was done?
Yeah, on all like social
Come on.
media and on Snapchat, like everyone was just saying, "Wow, like this guy actually is incredible."
He did
Like,
it.
I hate him, but he's incredible. You know,
It's so cool.
and I think that he really defined himself. I mean, he already defined himself way before that. I mean, like 10 years ago, he was defined. Like, he was going to the Hall of Fame 10 years ago, but
Right.
I think this pretty much makes him the greatest quarterback of all time.
Yes.
You know,
Because you have quarterbacks that go number 1 in the draft
mhm.
and amount to absolute shit.
Yeah,
It's so cool. It doesn't matter who's there first or who says you're where.
yeah,
It's about showing up, putting in the work, and just doing it.
yeah.
And I don't think I could verbalize it correctly. I don't know why. Like, I had goosebumps after the Super Bowl on Sunday. I was like,
Mhm.
this is so real and it's so applicable. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I was so hyped.
It's pretty insane to me that
so you can't have somebody sit there and say, "Nah, it's not impressive."
They were down
You're just being
28
a
to they were down
troll.
28-3 in the third quarter, and I'm pretty sure 90% of the people watching were no longer invested in the game. You know, like,
Dude.
I keep hearing the stories that people went outside for a cigarette. They hung out for 20 minutes, half hour, and they came back and they were like amazed about this comeback.
I was just so pumped, dude, because it's so real. Like, forget football, forget any specific thing. It's so applicable to everything.
Yeah,
I bet there's been so many times in your life where everyone said, "No, like you're not doing it right. You're not going to amount to much in this specific thing."
Yeah,
and we could all relate to that. It was so sick.
Well, yeah,
I can't get over it.
He cried over it. You have to watch the. I think ESPN did a special on him where he's talking about draft day and how he thought he was going to go a lot higher in the earlier rounds, and the fourth round came and went, the fifth round came and went, and then Tom Brady also was a pretty good baseball player, so he winds up picking up his glove and a ball and a bat, and he starts walking down the block to his local park to go play baseball, and he's upset, like he's crying and he's angry, and his dad was there to console him because he had to talk him out of it, and he's like, "You know what, Dad, I'm just going to play baseball. I give up. No one's even going to draft me today," because he literally didn't think he was going to be drafted.
At that point.
So he picked up his ball and his glove, and he went to go have a catch with his dad because he's like, "All right, let me try baseball," and then he wound up getting the call from the Patriots, and the rest is history.
It's literally just shows it's a choice if you're going to count yourself out or not.
Really quick, I just want to answer a couple people. It's something about fantasy. I want to let it be known I have played fantasy, and I'm not saying that if you're involved in fantasy football, you're not a real fan. That's not what I'm saying. Obviously, there are tons of super knowledgeable people who know a lot about football, and part of that reason can be fantasy because it attracts them to new players and different teams. All I'm saying is I think it should be more of a secondary thing. You should have a favorite team, root for a team, be passionate about that team. When that game's over, okay, let me go on my phone, let me go on my ESPN app, let me go online, let me check out NFL Red Zone, and then see if my fantasy team is doing well. But I have people who claim to be Giants fans rooting against the Giants because it's going to, if the Giants lose or the Giants don't do well, if Eli throws 4 picks, it will benefit their fantasy team. If you're rooting against the team you root for, you're a Cowboys fan. If you were saying, I hope the Cowboys lose tonight, or I hope Ezekiel Elliott only has 50 rushing yards as opposed to 200 rushing yards because it's going to benefit your fantasy team, then in that case, I would say I would really question your fanhood. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. That's the issue I have with it, is when people take it way too far. But,
I have to point out here, you're going to be pissed.
Yeah.
Somebody said we're going in and out. Dude, you went live on Kevin King.
Did I?
You went live on Kevin King.
Oh, right now.
Instead of 2 Kevs
Oh,
and a
that's
mic.
okay. That's okay. We'll just share it. We'll just share it.
But I just went to go live and share it from my personal for 2 Kevs and a mic.
That's a classic Kevin King move though, to do that.
And we've been here for a while.
Yeah, and the worst part is that we had an hour and a half to prep.
Yep.
And it was just, it came down
and
to
we went live on the wrong account. And that's
deep down, right now you're holding it in, but deep down you're furious right now. You're actually angry. You shouldn't be, because all we have to do is share it, but we're
melting down live. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So Kevin King did a Twitter poll, and I was pretty shocked with the results. So can you tell them what happened?
So I did a Twitter poll because I was interested. I've had a lot of discussion about this. So I wanted to see pizza or wings. Which one do people like better? What's more popular? I got a lot of iffy answers, which I don't really appreciate as much. Kind of it depends on the circumstance. It depends on what kind of party it is, what kind of event it is. But what I really wanted to know is what's better, pizza or wings. Now, there was 22 total votes during this poll. The first 4 votes were wings. So I thought it was going to be a landslide victory for wings. It was 100% wings. Pizza fans came back. Pizza fans fought back. So for all you pizza fans out there, you fought back. They won the poll. I think it was 68% to 32%.
Dominated.
They dominated.
Wow.
It was 4-0, and they just went on a roll. At one point, there were 6 unanswered points, 6 unanswered votes for pizza.
I think I wanted to say wings just because I had wings at that time, and I was pumped about that. But you got to think over the course of the year, what are you most hyped for? Pizza for the win.
But it's I think that a lot of the guys, I think mostly the wings people were definitely men, and I think a lot of them
do girls like pizza more than guys?
Yeah, definitely.
Girls
But
like
because
pizza
I think
more.
that some guys like wings better because if they work out, it has the protein and all that stuff.
Yeah.
By the way, Eric Romanchuk's in here. This is great. He's my idol. Great guy. Shout out to Eric Romanchuk for joining the podcast tonight.
Awesome.
So we have a lot to discuss, and I'm glad to see there are a lot of you in here.
From Kevin King's personal.
Yeah. But before we were starting this, like we do a little pregame ritual, and we watch videos, we hang out, we prep. And Kevin was like having
We
a little
procrastinate a little
man
bit.
crush on DJ Khaled. He was kind of obsessed with.
I was
DJ
watching
Khaled.
videos.
Yeah, why were you watching so
I
many
was
videos
watching
of DJ
videos
Khaled, man?
because just like Tom Brady, I can't get over these stories about people that actually hustled to get where they are.
Mhm.
And it just goes so underappreciated because we all see them now and we see like where they're at and we're like, damn, look at him making money. He's a fool. He's this, that, or the other thing. This guy's a joke. And look at him, he made it. And we hate because they're winning. But I was watching a little documentary on the life of DJ Khaled and where he came from in South Florida. He's literally an immigrant child. He came here. His parents immigrated to this country. Yeah, dude, and it's just so prevalent in the different stories we see. Immigrant kids hustle, man.
Oh,
so
yeah,
DJ Khaled has been hustling for decades to get where he is.
Mhm.
People think he just blows up on Snapchat and it's how it works. It's not how it works. He literally worked in a little album record store.
Mhm.
Okay, so he immersed himself in something that he liked, and then he made connections, and then he became a host on a radio show, not a big one.
Right.
And then he blew up when he went on to a few bigger shows.
Yeah, I always wondered the story with this guy. I had no clue.
Dude, people think it's happening overnight, and we see it on Snapchat, and it's not how it works.
Yeah.
So he hustled, he met people.
Mhm.
He hustled for years, dude,
Yeah.
like from his teens to his 20s, 30s, and then I don't know how old he is now. I'm pretty sure he's in his 40s. I got to
Yeah.
double check. But people think it's like that, and
They
it's
think
like
you
you
can
hustle.
just do it. Yeah.
Like this, what
But-
we're doing right now with this
Mhm.
podcast, people are watching, and they're like, when is it going to blow up? Dude, here's the thing.
Yeah.
If you look at YouTube stars, Instagram, like, they put in the work before people were watching. They just went out and did, and then it happens over time. You like, obviously, there's things that go viral
Yeah.
and whatnot, but it takes work.
Oh yeah.
It takes,
But even the things that go viral, like there's a lot that goes.
because you have things that go viral, and then the person actually sucks, so their content doesn't stay.
Mhm.
That's like that's why the statistics on people who win the lottery
Right.
end up going bankrupt within 3 years. Because here's the
Yeah.
thing: they don't have the IQ for that amount of money.
Right.
They don't have residual income. They don't have assets put in place because they have no idea how to handle that
Absolutely,
money.
yeah.
That's why it's so sick when you see people putting in the work and you see other people getting so frustrated saying, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and I'm not getting mine.
Right.
Okay, do it for another 3, 4, 5, 10, 11, 12, however many years, keep doing
Right.
it if it's what you love. If it's not what you love, then stop doing it.
Right.
But like, for us to say like we're mad that we want more viewers right now, we want to reach more people, we want to like have a bigger platform.
Mhm.
That would be so selfish of us to say when right now we're growing as it is and we haven't put in the work yet. Like we've only been we're just getting consistent now. Like I'm so
And
pumped.
people get
Like,
discouraged if they're not blowing up like within
Dude,
a couple days.
and that's
like,
the
a
thing. You
couple
got to think
weeks.
about our first few videos had
Years.
more views than our previous two. Like we hit over 1K, which is sick.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But we have to be consistent with the content, and it has to be valuable to them.
Yeah.
And I'm going on a tangent right now, and I'm just so pumped.
No,
'cause
I
it's
totally
true.
agree. Because one of the reasons why we were inspired to do the podcast is because we were listening to a podcast on our own, and
It's true.
one of the things Joe Santagato said was that you have to like continuously work each and every day and each
Mhm.
week. He said that a lot of people get discouraged. They want to start their own blog, they want to start their own YouTube page or podcast,
Yeah,
and they get discouraged if it's I've been doing it for 3 months and I still only have
it's literally
85
no
viewers.
time.
I don't have hundreds, I don't have thousands
Dude,
of
think
viewers.
about your blog that you were doing, and you came to
Yeah.
me, and you're like, you wanted more shares, you wanted to reach more people, because
Yeah.
the content you were putting
Yeah.
out, you genuinely were happy with it,
Yeah.
and you felt it could help people.
Yeah.
And I literally got so pissed at you, and I'm like, dude, J.K. Rowling got denied by so many publishers.
Right.
Everyone said this book is a joke.
Right.
It just shows that, once again, they said Tom Brady is a joke. He's not going
Right.
to amount to anything.
Mhm.
DJ Khaled was a nobody hustling in South Florida.
Right.
And they
Yeah.
just kept doing what they love.
Yeah.
And if you don't make it big, you're still doing what you love.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if that's not enough, then I don't know what is.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
actually, I'm so random, but I'm wondering if our content is going further right now, pushing it from our privates. Like, I went and shared it,
Mm-hmm.
pushing it from our privates.
Yeah, I
just
mean,
put my tongue in my mouth on that one.
what?
I said, pushing our privates.
Oh, pushing our privates. Yeah. I don't know, and I don't know if it's the Wi-Fi, why we're going in and out and stuff like that. But 'cause
Yeah,
we're in
but
this-
regardless, we have news, guys. If we're going in and out on this Facebook Live, we have good news. We made a YouTube account finally, and we're going to be recording live on the MacBook right now as we go Facebook Live. And our videos are going to go up on YouTube, so it's not just going to be live on Facebook. If you can't tune in, 7:30 on Tuesdays.
Yep.
If you can't tune into Facebook throughout the week, it's going to be on YouTube, and it's going to be there.
Yeah, you can always watch the videos on our Facebook page. They're
Mhm.
always posted there. We're trying to set up an account on iTunes to be on iTunes. So once that gets going, you guys can subscribe to that, and then
There's multiple
obviously
things going on here.
yeah, we have a
And-
lot going on.
And it takes time, and it's also the amount of work that we have to put in and meet up to do this. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It takes dedication. It's not that simple as like, oh, like why aren't you going multiple times a week? Because like we
Right.
have a lot of people reaching out to us, like congratulating us, thanking us,
Mhm.
that like something we said, or
Absolutely.
just like people have been reaching out, which is awesome.
Yeah,
But the thing is, they're like, why aren't you doing more? I like obviously we can be doing more.
Yeah,
but,
we
like,
want to.
One, like we both don't have a tech background, and like we're
Right.
learning this as we go. Like we just fought with the YouTube channel like for
Mhm.
like 50 minutes before we did
Yeah.
this. We're not.
Try setting up.
We're
a
tech
YouTube
savvy,
account
too,
Without,
yeah.
without Google getting in
Yeah,
the way.
because here's the problem: Google owns YouTube, so it was such a struggle.
Hmm.
So we're just going to transition topics here because it's going to be a little span of time. I already know it, and it's something that Kevin and I have discussed so many times, and it has to do with early risers and late night grinders.
You guys are gonna see us argue for a little bit.
So I want you to open up on this topic.
Okay, so
Start
around
it
this
off.
time last year, Kevin and I discussed going to the gym together. Now, this Kevin likes to get up early and go to the gym
Fact.
very early. He wants to wake up around like 5:15 or 5:30 a.m.
Hmm.
So I was like, you know what? I'm not a morning person. As a matter of fact, I hate mornings. I wish there was no such thing as mornings. I wish we could just start the day at like 11 a.m., 12
that would
p.m.
be
That'd
the
be great.
morning.
Yeah, it would be the morning. I knew you were going to say that. Nevertheless, I think that waking up early is good for some things. Like you get an early start to your day, and I did like going in the morning for the longest time. So we went to the gym in the morning from like 5. We'd wake up at 5:30, get to the gym around like 6:15, 6:30, and leave.
Well,
at
some
8.
of us would be there.
Yeah, I get there a little later, but like 15
His
minutes
drive's
in-
a little longer.
My drive's a little longer.
He doesn't put in the work to get there when I do.
and
He doesn't compensate on the GPS time.
Yeah, the issue that I have with it is I like to do a lot of stuff at night. So like when
You're
I
a night owl.
When I get home from work, I'm a night owl. Like I do a ton of stuff. Like I work on things for the podcast. I like to just relax after working all day, like 9:30 to 5:30, sometimes even later.
Mhm.
I have to do like the little things that just take time, like laundry, ironing my clothes, eating dinner, all the necessary stuff. And then there's like a bunch of other things that I'm not going to get into that I like doing. So I'm up most of the time to like at least midnight, 12:30. So to wake up at 5:30, I feel like it's unhealthy.
Right. And you've always been a
I've
late night
always been
person.
like that.
You
yeah.
have.
Because my mom's the same way. I can't. So I'm coming off 5 hours of sleep, and now I'm supposed to go to the gym and work out. Now at the gym, I get like this strong sense of anxiety because I know once I leave the gym, I'm not going home to relax and like drink protein. I'm going home, and I have to like hop in the
Yeah,
shower
you're
and
getting
go
ready
right
for
to
work.
and then I have to rush to work to make sure I'm there on time. And then the one nice part that I like about it is that I get to come straight home and not have to worry about going to the gym at night
Right.
after work, after working a long day, which is nice. And obviously you and I have still been trying to push this. We're trying to make a comeback and go in the morning.
Yes.
But I saw someone the other day, my friend Mike Baranis, who has his own fitness company, and he's doing a bunch of great things.
Hmm.
And he made a status saying he gets ripped apart a lot
Hmm.
because he sleeps till like 9 or 10 a.m. and he shows up to the gym around 10 or 11 a.m.
Okay.
to lift. And he's in great shape.
Mhm.
Probably knows a lot more about fitness than most people our age do.
Mhm.
And people, he says, rip him apart.
Hmm.
And tell him he's lazy because he wakes up late, he doesn't grind enough. And he said it's all about time management. He said, I could
Right.
wake up at 10 a.m., get to the gym, and get everything I need to be done for the day at 9 o'clock at night and still go home and have time at night because it's all about being effective and just managing your time wisely.
Right.
But then there's a lot of people like you, especially in the fitness world, or even
Dude,
regardless
I feel,
of the fitness world, business leaders or people who are like striving to run their own business. They say like you'll sleep when you're dead, and you'll get 4 hours of sleep. That's it. You're good. And he's saying that's so counterproductive.
And I don't think that I don't even like the logic of like sleep when you're dead. But like there are entrepreneurs, there are people that have made it happen in every sense of the word and term.
Absolutely.
That grind and wake up at 3:30, 4 a.m. and then they're doing their day and they shut down at like 10:30, 11.
Right.
So it does happen.
Yeah,
people do it. Like I do know sleep is important. But the argument between Kevin and I is sometimes Kev feels that he can accomplish more if he sleeps, wakes up, goes to work first, leaves work. You like the downtime of 1-2 hours beforehand
to
eat dinner, to do something, and then you like to go to the gym, say 7, 8, 9, in that time frame. And then Kev gets to go home. He gets to chill. He gets to play a game of Madden. He gets to work on his podcast that we're doing here, and he can fall asleep at 1:30 and not worry about being tired the next day.
Right.
And my thing is, I say nothing productive really happens after 9, 10 o'clock at night. In my world.
Right, in your
That's
world.
being self-aware. I know that for me, after 9, 10 o'clock, I'm on my phone.
Yeah.
Nothing productive is happening.
A lot of people are on their phones. They're not
So
doing
if you can sit here and genuinely tell me that you're productive late at night, then I can't.
And it's tough because I want to be a morning person. Dude, because
it feels so good when we leave the gym and it's like we have the whole day now. Like we finish work and the day is yours to like do all the things. So I think of the workout as more recreational. So I wake up, I have like 3 hours of me time. Right. And then I have to go to work for the 8 hours. And then I have more me time. Right. As opposed to wake up, work, and then maybe one long span of it. But then it depends on how you view the workout.
I think you enjoy the fitness and you enjoy working out more than I do too.
Right.
You've always been a gym guy, and I've only been on it for like the last 3 or 4 years. You've always enjoyed like exercising and stuff. I'm lazy. Like I do it because I know I have to like try to stay in shape, and I don't like the way I look, so I'm like, you know what? Let me fix that.
Right.
But I don't really enjoy it. Like I don't necessarily have a passion for what I do.
So I want to see in the comment section here. I want to see. Like, as we go through, you don't have to comment right this second, but when this isn't live and more people hop on and view, I want to know, morning grind? It doesn't even have to be working out either.
No, that's the thing.
Some people wake up at 4 a.m., get a cup of coffee, hang out by the kitchen table, read a book, charge up, take a shower.
They work on stuff. I know people who...
Things around the house.
Teachers wake up early to get to class early to prepare. Cool. Any type of profession that you have to do, sometimes you have to do a little pre-work before you go into work. My mom is a paralegal. She does a ton of things sometimes in the morning or late at night. So it depends on what you do. Also, like we said before, business leader. So we've got one late grind. Shout out to the late grind. But yeah, I just feel like I could stay up till 3 in the morning and get a lot of stuff done in my room on the computer, and then I'm just like stress free. I could sleep late, and then I still have like the rest of the day. But I guess it's really just a personal decision.
Because the thing is, there's literally no right answer here. But the cool thing is, like, you're kind of bouncing back and forth between the two because I feel like you're stuck in this limbo because you did appreciate the 5 days a week, 5:30 wake up. I really do, and we were consistent, and you had your days after, and you're a little tired, but when you're in the routine, you like become numb to it. I feel like if you're getting 5, 6.5 hours of sleep, you should be good to go. I know some people would say no.
Another thing too is that I have difficulty like later in the day. So sometimes I wake up at 5:30 in the morning, I'm tired, but once we get to the gym or whatever you're doing, you feel okay. You wake up a little bit, and then midway through the day I'm fine, but then later like in the day, like even like when I'm at work, like 3:30, 4 o'clock, I feel like there was one day I was driving home and I felt like I was gonna like fall, like literally crash, and I was just like, I worry about it, and I worry about, like, is it healthy to be getting, and then on the weekends, I'm so tired from the week. All I want to do is like sleep on the weekends. I don't want to go out and be social. Weekend. I did that 2 weeks ago. The first week that we went back to the gym, I didn't do anything that weekend. But again, that's still a decision. I could have easily won out. So
it's all a choice, and
just like everything, right?
Everything's a choice. How you feel is a choice.
Yeah,
I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad about much. So what's next on this topic list? Are people gonna get heated?
Yeah, people are definitely gonna get heated.
Is it what I think it is?
Yeah, it is exactly what you think it is.
All
now
right,
this is
so
gonna be like your.
This isn't a
shining
topic
moment.
we discussed before the show. I literally just said, "Hey, write that down so we can like brush on it if it comes up." So, guys, plus size models, fat people. What do you think? Here's the thing. I've been preaching it for years. Yeah, we also said we've had no heat. Like I feel like we've said some things on the show that deserve some heat.
Yeah.
Like slapping dead people memorial things,
Oh,
and then like
yeah.
we talked about like American Sniper not being that cool, and like all the stuff, and like we've received no heat. So
they love it. So they don't want to give us heat.
Yeah. So don't give us heat, but maybe a little.
Yeah.
So the thing is, everybody's beautiful. Yes. But the problem is when people are pushing that it's A-okay to be obese and that you don't have to change, you're wrong.
Now, here's what I'll say, though. Not all plus-size models are obese.
Well, that's why I said plus-size models, and then I said fat people.
Right.
I don't want you to think I'm counting the two as the same thing.
Iskra Lawrence, very attractive plus-size model I follow on Instagram, would definitely be upset with you. Because she's all about,
Well, let me make it clear. I'm not
Okay.
putting them in the same category. Plus-size models is an awesome marketing thing that I think actually makes sense, considering watching the Victoria's Secret show this year. Not cool. I think there's a certain point when we're saying that that's the ideal body type. Not so cool.
Not only that, but I just feel
being
like
thick is cool.
The Victoria's Secret fashion show, the men watch it in a perverted way, and the women watch it and just get upset because they want to look like that.
And it gets so, I'm like, so stupid. It's like
I wonder who watches the Victoria's Secret fashion show and is like, oh my god, I love that bra. Like, I really need to get that. It looks great on Kendall Jenner.
Yeah, you guys don't have those bras.
And I wonder what guys are sitting there like, oh wow, that's an interesting getup right there. Yeah,
right. And I'm sure it does happen, but at the same time, I don't know. So, the marketing and the plus size, that's cool. That's cool. But the whole, you're 350 pounds overweight, but you're beautiful, you don't change. No, don't change what's inside. Grow as a person, but don't grow as a person. You know what I mean?
It's so tough, though.
Not because it's ugly or wrong, but because from a health standpoint, it's not okay.
I always feel odd talking about this, and I feel uncomfortable sometimes, only because I was born with a very good metabolism, so I never had to.
Me neither.
Because I eat really poorly. Like, I eat a lot of junk food,
right.
like mac and cheese. I do go to the gym and stuff like that, but I'm not always, like, super active. I sit at a desk all day, and I still manage to be very thin. So I feel like it would be, like, a little, disingenuous, or, like, maybe for lack of a better term, like, it would just be cruel to make fun of someone for, not make fun of them, but to call them out and say, you need to do better, you need to lose weight, and you need to fix yourself because you're a little too heavy.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, you don't make fun of them, you don't say you need to change, what you're doing is wrong, but the whole, you don't have to change.
You don't have to do anything.
You're A-okay being overweight. No, it's, I actually care about you, and the path you're going down doesn't make... And obviously, the conversation wouldn't go down like that, but if I had a close family member that was really overweight, it definitely would come up in conversation in the sense... And the thing is, we don't even need to say it. They're the ones who say it. They're like, oh, I need to lose weight. So it's not like they're like... And they don't even know they're fat. They know they're fat.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
They know. So it's really... It's just the debate of... Don't say that everything's just fine. Like, put on an extra 20, no big deal. Like, who cares at that point? Like, obviously, you can do whatever you want, and nobody has a right to tell you otherwise. The point I make is that I cringe in the sense that being obese based off whatever charts isn't healthy for you.
Oh, no.
And that's just a fact.
But this goes for, and I'm not trying to, like, segue too far away from this topic, but it's within the same realm. This goes for anything. This has to do with, like, alcohol abuse, and I'm not talking, like, necessarily serious things, but like for the people that think it's funny to like get in a car and drink and drive, anything you can relate this to, like you said, like being obese, being lazy, like not doing anything.
And then
like
somebody just said the opposite end of the spectrum where people are too obsessed with their health and fitness.
Right.
That's what someone just said.
Or like being crazy, like you said, like you were telling me about the other day, like how like you'll see videos online of like people being like girls or guys "Oh my god, I'm so crazy," and they're bragging about being crazy, or they're
I don't know.
bragging about having a bad temper.
I don't know where along the line it became trendy and cool to be a girlfriend that's crazy. Like, like I'm crazy. Don't mess with me.
But
you know,
like
it's trendy and it doesn't make sense.
that's what I'm saying.
Not cute.
There's a like being like aggressive or being angry, being the tough guy. There are a lot of flaws, and instead of people fixing them, they just make it trendy
They're heightened
and make it
and
cool.
it's become
Exactly.
Like
They're
being
heightened.
loud isn't that cool. Like,
No.
Like I'm the loudest one at the party. Everyone like.
What about when people are like of a certain
I know where you're going.
ethnic
with this,
background or
and I'm pumped.
nationality, and they're like,
Here's the thing. Italian people aren't loud. That's you don't. But it's not in your. It's not a genetic predisposition that I'm Italian, so I'm loud.
like there are definitely a lot of loud Italian people.
Yes.
I can tell you that.
Yes,
I
I know plenty of Italian families that are not loud from the same parts of Italy that the loud, obnoxious ones are.
Right.
So what are you saying?
So like
you know?
when the people say, "Oh, I'm Sicilian," like that's why I'm crazy.
It's not why you're crazy.
But it's not just Italians. It's like there's always like they
Yeah.
like to stereotype themselves.
Mhm.
They're like,
You
"Oh,
say,
I'm Irish. I'm
don't
angry."
don't mess with Puerto Rican women.
Yeah,
Like, what are
yeah.
you talking about?
Yeah.
I don't even understand what that means.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because you can meet like the nicest, calm Puerto Rican woman and then the crazy Irish girl, or vice versa.
And once again, it's these trendy things that I don't really understand where they're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
The whole.
That's a great point.
Whatever.
Anthony just said these people are trying to fill a void because they're unsure about their identity, which is
Yes,
so
I love that. The other thing, I don't have pet peeves, but we've talked about this before. One of the most annoying concepts, I don't think we wrote it down as a topic, but it came to my mind. We've discussed it so many times, is Americans get pissed when Spanish people don't speak English.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, no, that's
like, speak English. You're in America. First of all, you're wrong. That doesn't even make sense.
You're not in America.
Yeah, you're not.
I'm just kidding.
But nowhere in the Constitution does it say speak English. Am I right?
No.
It doesn't say, this is where we speak English only.
It happens to be the primary language.
Predominantly.
But that doesn't mean,
So that's the thing. So people get pissed when Spanish people, Latin American people, don't speak English. Or don't speak English well. But when your Italian grandfather can't speak English,
it's cute.
It's so funny.
It's cute.
Ha! Like my grandfather didn't speak any English.
Yeah.
But it's funny.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with either one.
Neither one is wrong.
But like, it's the people that call.
But you're wrong.
It's the people that call them out like, "Oh, it's so cute. He only speaks Italian."
And then they turn to the Spanish person. They speak English.
Yeah.
You're
insane.
a fool.
Yeah.
And that happens a lot.
Especially because imagine you talk about all the time, like the people who say that, usually most of the time are the people that say, "This is the greatest country in the world. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else." So you know the reasons why this is the greatest country in the world, and you know the reasons why they want to come over from whatever country they're from to come here, and then they're doing that to better themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So you should congratulate them and say, "Great job." Then, furthermore, the fact that they have to try to pick up a new language on the spot without being taught half the time.
It's so impressive.
They're not taught in school if they're an adult. You know, they're not going to be able to afford Rosetta Stone. They have to pick it up on their own. It takes a while.
Right.
It's not something you can learn overnight.
So for anybody viewing this, and you're one of those people that have ever thought, like, or got frustrated at somebody because they didn't speak English, reevaluate yourself.
Yeah, please.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
Because the foundations of this country, nowhere did they say, we're only going to speak English here, and if you don't, you're not really American, so just become like the rest of us right now. Mm-hmm. You're wrong.
Yeah, that's the funniest part about all this, like everything that's going on, like in politics.
Well, it's definitely relevant to right now too.
It's just funny how like certain types of people think that like being an American is about being white and speaking English. Like you're a white person and you speak English, you're an American. You know what I mean?
Bello said, "Who should assimilate?"
Who should assimilate? Obviously, no. I'm not saying. I think that Hispanic people should do their best to learn the language, but we could do our part too, you know? Right. It could easily, I know it sounds cliche, but it could easily be like a team effort. We take Spanish in school.
Dude, every kid should be a dual language from pre-K on.
Yeah.
Because you know what that does to a child's mind, first of all? It opens up parts of the brain that they've proven through scans that a person who was only taught to speak English from the time they were little doesn't have that open. Yeah, so I think
if you're a kid growing up in the school system, you're being taught English as well, you know, and they have ELA classes for that as well. I know there's a couple teachers in here, but that could easily be.
Yeah, I feel like that's the least of our concerns is making it work. Like, I'm team human. I'm never team
Yeah.
race. I'm never team political party, and I think you know that.
Yeah.
Like,
And
there's always a way to make it work, and people are like, well, what are we gonna do if they're not gonna speak English? Like,
honestly,
come on.
working in I used to work at Toys R Us in Bayshore. And there was a
Shout
lot of
out.
people from Brentwood there. There was a lot of Hispanic
Right, it's right on the border.
Exactly. There was a lot of Hispanic families there. And people don't understand that Hispanic people can pick up on English, and
Yes.
you can actually try to do your best to communicate with them. It was actually pretty easy.
Yeah.
You know, and I took like a couple years of Spanish, but I don't remember like 90%.
Right. You
But it
can't
was
do
still
it right. You
pretty
can't do
easy.
it right now for us.
Yeah. No, right now. Yeah. Yo soy Kevin. That's all I know.
Oh.
I'm Kevin. No, I'm breaking it out tonight.
I took Latin.
Yeah. Did you really? Wait, you took Latin?
I took Latin.
I always wanted to take a class
Dude.
in Latin, but they didn't offer it at St.
Latin
Joe's.
was offered at Bayshore High School.
I'm so pissed. I always because like our whole language, English language, is based off
yeah,
like so
love
many
language.
words. Yeah,
Dude,
I want to know.
taking Latin was really cool.
Teach
And one of
me
the
Latin,
cool
Kev.
things about taking Latin was you learn the historical background too, like the time period, like ancient Rome.
Mm-hmm.
So cool, like Greek mythology. Cool. Like
Yeah.
I loved all of it. So like the stories we learned about were like awesome. So et tu pingus porcus.
Ah.
I think it's like you're a fat ass or something.
Pingus porcus just definitely sounds like you're a
Et
fat
tu
ass.
et tu assinus, like you're an ass. Of course, it's whenever you learn a language, you only remember like the curse words and stuff.
Yeah.
So I stopped taking it my senior year of high school,
Yeah.
and then I had to take 2 semesters of Italian in college.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know any of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so here's the awful thing: I paid X amount of money to go to Farmingdale State College, take Italian, so I can learn it and pass the class. But it literally is just about passing the class at that point because I didn't learn a damn thing.
Nothing.
A damn thing.
Nothing. Yeah.
Google Translate every
I took-
paper.
1, 2, 3. I took 4 years of Spanish in high school, or 3 years of Spanish, and then another 2 in college.
Mhm.
So like 6 years overall, and I really didn't learn that much.
Yeah.
But I guess that's my own fault, right?
It's your
Because
fault.
maybe I should have a better.
I also
Google.
had no desire to learn it.
Yeah.
So it's fair game.
Yeah, I wish. I've heard this a lot too. Everyone that has taken a foreign language in school and doesn't remember it always says, "I wish I would have paid more attention, and I wish I would have
Oh
tried
yeah.
to retain that information more."
Dude, I mean, I wish I could go back in time and like had my parents put me in like dual language from the time I was in kindergarten.
Yeah,
It would have been awesome.
yeah. And another good comment by Anthony says that in other countries they actually emphasize a second language, but here in America there's no real emphasis on it.
That's
Like,
awesome.
It's just like, nope, get away. We don't want any part of it.
We're so behind in so many
Oh,
ways.
yeah.
It's absurd. Like
Yeah.
people are like, this is the best country in the world. Like we're number one. We're not number one in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Like, am I very grateful to be here? Do we have a lot of
Oh, yeah.
opportunity? Yes, this is the place to
Yes.
be. But so many aspects of what we push and what we're about are so behind.
Yeah.
Are so behind.
Yeah. So let's switch topics. We have some current events we have to go over. Kev.
Time is flying, dude.
Time is flying, guys. We have about like 20 more minutes left. So get your topics in. Let us know what you guys want to talk about. But we have some current events that we want to go over. We do this every
Yeah.
week. Not necessarily a current event,
It
but
happened recently.
yes.
So what am I covering first here?
All right, let's go over McDonald's. So
McDonald's.
Long Islanders. Most of you right here in this chat are Long Islanders. We're gonna break some down for you. Most of you guys know this, but if you don't, we'll give you
Main
the scoop.
Street, Islip, McDonald's. Some of you have been there. Here's the thing. Islip McDonald's employees mistakenly hang inverted American flag, owner says.
Owner says.
This is Newsday.com, and we saw articles all over Facebook about this. You guys probably saw it as well. So the Islip McDonald's, invertedly? So
Yeah.
it was upside down, okay? It was incorrect. They hung the flag outside on the pole. It's a big flag, so everyone saw it. The Islip McDonald's on Main Street. So it says, last week, employees of the McDonald's on Main Street removed the flag from its staff during a storm. When raising it Wednesday, employees unintentionally, maybe, hung the flag upside down, according to the store manager. Well, of
Mhm.
course he's going to say that. So, I mean, we'll never know the true
I
story.
thought this was going to be such a
yeah.
bigger topic, especially because so many people on my Facebook feed have a strong political agenda or an opinion about everything. And being that this is so relevant living here on Long Island, I thought there'd be more people talking about it. But we have one comment, like Steven says, it's shaking my head. It was definitely done intentionally. But I keep thinking I'm really having a tough time deciphering whether it was done intentionally.
I feel like you would be somebody to accidentally.
Yeah, like I would definitely do that. On
You know
accident.
what I mean? It's not like
or on purpose.
or on purpose. Which is it really a big deal?
So
for some people,
I'm the type of guy. We talked about this on a previous podcast. I think it was episode 1. I'm the type of guy that messes up all the time, especially at work. So I feel like I would just do something silly, like tonight.
He went live on his private Facebook account instead of our business page.
But it's working well. It's working out well.
We'll be fine,
and that's the theme. So this could actually work out well.
Fine.
Some people saw it as a sign of disrespect, but I've actually been to this McDonald's from working over there in the Bayshore area. I know the guys who run it. I know the managers. They're all good people. I don't think they would do something like that. I think if it was an employee that did it, they definitely
and that's the other thing. Like to say I'm not going there anymore.
Yeah, it's not like
it has nothing. Yeah, the manager only can do so much if one of their employees gets a rush of courage and decides to put the flag upside down. You know,
if someone's feeling ballsy, for lack of a better term, and they want to go put the flag upside down, the fact that I think it was only up there for a couple minutes,
the manager took it down right away.
So I don't understand why there's an issue. But if you go on News 12 or Newsday, there seems to be such a big issue. People just love.
People get pissed about the flag.
Yes, that is something we talked about too. People get really upset about the flag.
An object.
It is an object.
That represents some cool things.
It's a representation of our country and a lot of things. But obviously, going back to the Colin Kaepernick thing, when he protested and kneeled or didn't stand for the flag.
The thing is, people let it ruin their day.
Oh, yeah. Like, you have to understand that there's always going to be people that disagree with you, and there's always going to be, I don't necessarily think that Colin Kaepernick is a bad guy. I don't necessarily think that whoever did this, by most likely, in my opinion, making a mistake, is a bad guy. But if you do, then that's fine, because there's always going to be people out there that you think are bad people, that are going to be the opposite of what you think. They're going to have different views, and they're going to be totally outrageous about it. And you kind of have to deal with those people. When people called, they gave different answers. Okay. So
we'll never know.
But regardless, even if there's only one person that puts up the flag.
Right.
So even if that one person that put up the flag felt like putting it upside down, you can't blame the entire company or that single McDonald's for doing so. Especially because it wasn't like they found out and they left it there for the whole day. They took it down immediately. So that's the thing I don't understand.
I don't understand. People are saying they won't go there now. I don't get it. Well, first of all, you shouldn't go to McDonald's anyway, so you're all wrong in the first place. Don't eat McDonald's.
Yes, Kev will tell you about that.
So you're absolutely right. Don't eat there, guys.
Maybe this will be maybe it was a fitness guy. Maybe it was a fitness guy who's
he wanted to turn everybody against McDonald's,
like a doctor who wanted to save the world
from the inside out.
And he's like, if I turn this American flag upside down, with the amount of obscene things that are going on in this country.
Wow.
This will be huge.
This is a conspiracy.
And then no one's going to go to this McDonald's. And then imagine every McDonald's started doing it. That McDonald's goes out of business. This is great. No more cancer.
All right, so all fitness guys, we're going to get together. We're going to work at McDonald's. We're going to go and kill them from the inside out and shut them down. Because we're going to make all the flags go upside down. And you're all going to get pissed and stop
just all
going
these,
to McDonald's.
All these doctors, all these fitness people just
all right, we're on to
turn
something.
The flag, yeah.
There's going to be FBI or somebody knocking down the door
yeah.
in a minute here. There's
They're
something
going to
going
think
on.
that we did it.
They know that we're up to something.
Yeah.
So, am I bringing up this other hot topic that kind of ties in with this?
Yes, please.
I have to sneeze.
Oh, live air sneeze.
That's probably the first live air sneeze.
That's the first live air sneeze in the history. Not just on this show, literally in the history of radio and television, no one has ever sneezed live.
That's so true. No one ever
sneezes. It's very odd.
I'm pissed.
Yeah.
Oh my god. How many radio shows, podcasts... No one sneezes.
I'll go all night without sneezing, and as soon as Steph falls asleep, I sneeze and wake her up. I go all day without sneezing, and then as soon as I get in my car and drive, I wind up sneezing.
Dude,
and I'm on the road.
I never sneeze.
So the first on-air live sneeze.
God bless you. Thank you so much. I'm sorry I sneezed, guys. All right. So to piggyback off the flag upside down at the McDonald's in Islip, you guys may have seen the viral video of the FedEx employee stormed out of his car, and there was a group of protesters lighting flags on fire.
Oh.
They were lighting flags.
Oh, I didn't know about this.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, thank you.
So they were lighting flags on fire. in good American fashion, exercising their freedoms, and the FedEx guy was pissed. So in the video, you see him storm over there, and he is yanking the flags out of their hands, and they're fighting back. So they're like, "This is our flag." So he's yanking the flags out of their hand, so they can't burn them. There's 3 flags, so he takes one, storms away, sees they have another, tries to yank that one too. And I wish I could remember the quote that one of the guys that were burning the flag said. They were like, "Get out of here," and there's I can't remember what they said. But first of all, if you're taking time out of your day to burn flags, reevaluate. I like that.
Yeah.
But so the point of the story was, yeah, I'm telling a lot of people to reevaluate tonight. Maybe I should reevaluate. I'm usually not this aggressive. But the whole thing was, people were saying in the comments, is he going to keep his job?
Right.
Because he may have done the right thing there, some people were saying, but FedEx having an employee, he was in uniform.
Right. Okay.
So maybe from the company's standards, they don't want somebody that's going to do that. But FedEx put out a statement and tweeted, did this and the other thing, saying, "We evaluated the situation and ex-employee is keeping his job."
Okay.
And people were pumped. Because they're like, he fought for America's rights, and he said, "You can't burn this object," and everyone was pumped. I couldn't see what Bello asked.
He asked if it was, I believe, if you could rewrite the question, but I believe he asked if it's legal to set a fire in public.
Probably not.
Definitely.
And then maybe, but definitely not the flag.
No.
But besides the point, he kept his job, and people were pumped that he saved the flag. How do you feel?
So, just to get this straight, the FedEx employee is the one that saved the flag?
Yeah, the FedEx employee is the one who stormed into the crowd, yanked the flags, and left in his truck, preventing the flags from being
regardless
burned.
of any political agenda, I kind of like it. I think it's a smart decision because I like when people do things at work that they're trying to, even if, you disagree with what he did, right? Even if you're not a person that idolizes the flag that much or thinks it's that great. Regardless of that, he's doing something that he feels was the right thing to do in a situation. So it's always tough when I had a friend that got fired recently for trying to stop a shoplifter. Someone was running out of the store and he was trying to stop the shoplifter, and he wound up getting fired because they can get sued if something happens if he gets hurt. So doesn't that suck? You're trying to do something for the better of the company.
Dude,
now, this guy wasn't even trying to do something for the better of the company. He was doing it for the country that he lives in. So, and you know what? I'm wondering also though, if I don't know if anyone could tell me. I don't know if it is, but if FedEx is a union, if they're unionized, it would be extremely hard for him to get fired. Also,
I'm not too sure as to whether or not they are, but I know people were excited that he kept his job.
Yeah, I would say most Americans are probably excited to keep his job because even if you're one of those people that, unless you're the type of person that actually burns the flag, those are the only people that I would assume would not be happy that he.
I wonder what percentage of Americans burn their flag.
Yeah,
those people definitely aren't happy. Whatever percentage that is.
Yeah, and it didn't have anything to do with the company. So at least what I was saying with the shoplifting case, that had to do with something the company could have got sued. Right. FedEx really isn't in any danger because of this. And I guess it was just more of a personal matter.
Right.
And
I mean, it got a little physical. It did.
Okay.
But
yeah,
he would say he was doing the right thing.
Yeah. So
that'd be like obviously extreme difference. But if he saw somebody getting attacked or a girl getting raped and he stopped it, there's no way FedEx would.
I think a lot of this comes down to the CEOs and the people who are big and.
But some companies probably would fire him.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It depends on what type of ownership they have, CEOs, what type of leadership they have, certain companies, you could just tell, Target's a very liberal company, that's why they went with the transgender bathrooms, immediately.
Are those in place? Can I go to Target in Bayshore and take a peek?
I don't think it's in Bayshore, but they are in place around other parts of the country.
I want to see what that's all about.
Yeah. But you could just tell, certain companies, obviously, Starbucks has made it known that they're very liberal. So, obviously, they've came out and the CEO said he doesn't support Trump. There are certain companies that push their political agenda. Now, I'm not saying FedEx is, super patriotic, but I'm guessing if they're any bit patriotic, and the people high up for FedEx saw that video, they say, hey, don't fire this guy. I like what he did. That's probably what it came down to, I guess.
So I think it's cool, and I think it was a current event that went off the whole Iceland flag upside down.
Yeah.
So that's probably the only 2 current events we want to touch on at this time.
The last one, though, really quick, that I think is hysterical. It's not hysterical. It's not funny. It's not funny at all. But the divorce attorney.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
There was a divorce attorney in Ohio, I believe, who was hypnotizing. It's funny, too, because I don't know if I asked this live, but I think I asked Kev off air, I think after last week's podcast, if he believes in hypnotizing people. Like he said yes. He said you can hypnotize someone.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, I don't really know if that works. And that dude, this guy hypnotized this female client. I think he did it to multiple female clients, and hypnotized them to fall asleep. He got them to fall asleep, and then he would take advantage of them and touch them sexually. So they were in a trance,
and they have it on video. He's like whispering in their ear. He's like, "You're feeling immense amounts of pleasure right now," and he's like, "Pleasure, pleasure, pleasure."
Yeah.
So he's just basically like rubbing their shoulder and making them feel pleasure, and it's not funny.
Yeah.
And we don't mean to be making light of the situation, but it's just amazing. He got caught, so it's good. So it's just insane the things that go on in this world. Like, that's a divorce attorney. That's somebody who put in mad work to get where they are, and it's just down the drain. Yeah. And that guy is on camera, and you see his face seeing the camera, and it's just insane. So I believe that hypnotism is real. I've witnessed it firsthand. I think it's pretty crazy. But the dude got caught, which is dope. Yeah. And good riddance.
How do you go about doing that and feeling okay? I guess there's got to be something mentally wrong there.
So he's like, I am making a great living. I'm doing a good thing. I'm gonna hypnotize.
I always wondered how people are not afraid.
But why is a divorce attorney hypnotizing people?
Because that guy definitely doesn't want to go to jail. So how does he go about doing that and thinking, like, I'm never going to get caught and I'm never going to go to jail, and he's not nervous doing it?
But I'm confused now. What place does a divorce attorney have in hypnotizing somebody? Like, they're signing the papers, and he's like, hey, I know you're going through a lot. You know what might help? Let me hypnotize you.
I wonder if he was more of like a counselor for after, like, someone going through divorce. Maybe he was a psychologist.
Right? We're going to have to fact check ourselves on that one.
It did say divorce attorney.
It did in that video.
I did say
so we're going to fact check that, because now I'm really fascinated.
Yeah.
Now I'm a little freaked out.
Yeah.
But it's crazy, dude. Have you ever seen somebody hypnotize live?
He might have asked them, like, hey, is it okay if I'll
make you feel better.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he told them, hey, I'm going to hypnotize you. I think he just said that, hey, like, I'm going to give you, like, you know what? I'm really good at giving massages. I'm really good. We're going to do some therapy. I guarantee it will help you with your divorce. And they're just like, okay.
It's also,
now, when they woke up, though, they didn't know that they were just sleeping. They weren't like, oh, like, wow, you just hypnotized me? I was just sleeping.
They didn't know that. She said that, like, she felt her clothes were different. Yeah. And so that's why she felt something was kind of wrong.
She just kind of forgot what happened, and she thought it was, something else. Like, something, like, she was just having, like, memory loss. Like,
yeah, dude, I mean, have you ever seen it firsthand? Like, I've seen it firsthand. Like, the dude
I've never seen
who came to St. Joe's, where we went to college, this dude came, like, 3 years in a row, I think it was. Like, Ricky Carter, our friend, got hypnotized.
Really?
And he was, like, crying because he ate an apple, and he's the hypnotist made him believe that he's the savior of all fruits.
Okay.
So he was sobbing because he ate an apple, and then he woke up and came down from the stage, had no recollection of it.
Wow.
So
Ricky
it's
Carter
crazy. Like,
got hypnotized by the savior.
So, and I was watching this guy, and he had a complete, like, complex. What kind of complex am I thinking about here? Savior complex, or, like, hero complex. And this dude felt like he was God up on stage. You could tell the way he was walking around. And it was cool what he can do, but, like, to have that much control, he was, like,
it's a little creepy.
This, and people were, like, knocking out.
Yeah.
And he was making them dance around stage.
Yeah.
And anybody who sees this that has been hypnotized, that was at St. Joe's that time, like, chime in and tell them what you did, because I saw you guys up on stage. And it was crazy. And they don't remember except for the videos that happened.
Yeah.
The things that could happen to you are crazy.
Yeah. Can we...
It's insane.
Can we segue into touching people in a more humorous way on the elevator instead of like scary, dirty, hypnotized?
Final thoughts. Oh God, it sounded like, what's your name?
Oh my God, sounded like Tommy Lauren. God, don't give me a heart attack over here.
Final thoughts. I'm not Tommy. Is your name Tommy Lauren?
I'm not
right?
Tommy.
I'm not Tommy, but these are my final thoughts. So, viral video on Facebook, YouTube, wherever. This dude and his friend, people like you and I, would go on elevators. Elevators?
Yeah.
Elevators?
Elevators?
No, not elevators. They were
Escalators.
escalators. That's what it was. So people are going down. People are going up.
Now I know what you're talking about.
So
yeah.
people have their hands on the rails.
Mm-hmm.
So as I'm going up, you're going down, and your hand's on there. I like brush your hand sexually, and I like stare at you. And that's the video. It's the whole video. It's like 5 or 6 minutes long. People got so pissed.
Mm-hmm.
So like I would brush your hand and like just stare at you and like smile, and they're like this, and the guys are like, "What's up?"
Well, it was a guy touching other.
Let me
men,
clarify:
right?
dudes touching dudes. But I was thinking if that happened to me, I'd be like, "That's hysterical."
It was hysterical.
I
He was
wouldn't
just,
be
like,
pissed.
reaching over, like as he was going up and they
But
were
it's
going down.
like
He
how
was
many
just
guys
touching
were
them.
like,
Yeah, they're
ready to pop
some
off.
guys laughed, some guys looked up and smiled like they.
But
I think most were confused.
Some were confused, but like, why are guys' reactions to get pissed?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Because even if he is actually gay, he's attracted to you. It's
Yeah.
a compliment.
Yeah.
Why are you pissed?
Yeah, I guess because like the whole like personal, the whole.
And I get
personal
it. Like,
space thing
don't
that's
touch
something-
me. I understand,
Yeah.
but
A
go
lot
up,
of people don't like to be touched.
wash your hands and get over it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I thought the video was weak.
I thought it was hysterical too.
Dude, they were freaking out. I couldn't imagine if that happened to me.
Yeah, and it wasn't really touching them aggressively.
It was
like
the
a gentle
top
touch.
of their hand is like beep, like a little
Yeah.
touch.
We need to find these videos so we could show.
Yeah, would you guys
people.
like it? Let us know
I
if you
think-
like. We got to share them to the Two Kevs and a Mike page so you
Yes.
guys know what we're talking
Yes.
about. Maybe
a
even
great idea,
leading
because-
up to
Yeah.
the week we can
Right.
do that. So
Right.
because otherwise we're just talking about videos
And then we
you
can
made out
read
of
the
scene.
comments during the show.
Fact. Okay, so that's definitely gonna happen. So another successful show of
Yes.
nobody walking in on us. Okay,
Yes.
this is a different room and nobody's walked in on us,
Mhm.
and I'm pumped.
The vibes were a little off. It's okay though. You know,
The
next
vibes
week
are a
we're gonna
little
bounce
off.
back.
We're on the private page of Kevin King, not Two Kevs and a Mike, but we're gonna find a way to get it on there.
Yeah.
And those girls next door
Mhm.
better still be in there.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah, if they're not in there and we realize that we did this whole show.
How long do you guys plan on being here? The whole time. What does that mean? Let me know. With
We
that
need
being
to-
said, final thoughts?
Final thoughts. That's it. My final thoughts are I'm ready to go to bed. I'm ready to go to bed.
Are you gonna
Ready.
go to the gym in the morning?
Yeah, we're going to the gym in the morning.
All right, guys.
Gonna hate it.
He's gonna. Yeah, so we're cool with each other at night. Like we're like definitely best friends during the podcasting, but then the morning grind when we go to the gym, Kev says that I become like this raging
Kev's
lunatic.
aggressive. You're aggressive in the morning. Your eyes are bloodshot, so I know you're actually tired. And you're like, pick it up, pick up the weight. No, just leave it. Don't pick it up. Yeah, I'm like, well, what do you want me to do? What are you doing? Why are you wearing jeans? I wear jeans.
Yo, we go to the gym in the morning. We arrive 6:15. This guy gets out of his car in jeans.
Because I bring my shorts.
The dude
in a
shows up
bag
in jeans.
because it's cold. It's like 14.
He's
degrees
not
at the
coming from an
windshield.
overnight shift.
It's 14
He's
degrees.
not coming from work.
KP
He's
is
coming
aggressive.
from
It's
his bed.
14 degrees with the wind chill. It's dark. It's cold. Sometimes it's raining. I have jeans on
You
and a
have
hoodie.
sweatpants.
I don't own too many sweatpants. I own joggers. So
Put them on,
yeah.
Kev.
So I
Because you
bring
look
the
like you worked
shorts.
an overnight or stayed out all
And
night.
there's nothing wrong with that because you see some people who actually go to work after the gym and they're in like dress clothes.
So-
but the funniest thing, like that guy who's like working out in his clothes. Like at least I change
Yes.
and then I work out.
I want to talk
There was
about
a
in
guy in the
detail.
air machine, like a suit and a tie. But,
I want to go into detail on our experiences at New York Sports Club in the next episode because
Bruce.
a lot of things happen when we go to the gym together.
Bruce.
So tune in next week for episode 6 when we discuss what happens at New York Sports Club. With that being said, have
Thanks
a good
for
night,
watching,
everybody.
guys.
Much love. Beep.
Wait for it.
Boom!
Another show.
From the private page.
You're fucking angry. Hold on.
Oh, I was so pissed!